on the same day that it was announced that Disney won its proxy fight against investor Nelson Peltz, as the shareholders chose to re-elect the current full board of directors, which basically confirms that even though Disney just experienced one of their worst years financially, that their plan is basically for absolutely nothing to change. Coming off of that, now we have news that the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot will be getting a strong dose of Silver Girl magic. Let's discuss. Our content sucks. Our content sucks.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So Deadline is reporting that Julia Garner of Ozark fame has been cast as a female Silver Surfer in the MCU's Fantastic Four, releasing in 2025. As you can imagine, the knee-jerk reaction to this announcement has been a mixed bag of people crying foul and apologists coming out in full force to defend Marvel Studios.
You're pathetically predictable.
Now, I want to make this very clear before I go any further. Julia Garner stole the show on Ozark with her performance as Ruth Langmore. Because of that, I view her as a very capable actress who, under the right circumstances, will rock just about any role she is given. I remember rumors recently of her possibly playing Madonna in an upcoming biopic. And honestly, after hearing that news, I couldn't think of a better person for that job. When it comes to her Silver Surfer casting, however, I can't say that I'm just as optimistic. And again, that has more to do with Marvel Studios' track record than it does her acting capabilities.
I don't believe you.
In the interest of fairness, I feel the need to point out that she will not be playing a gender-swapped version of the iconic character that we know. She will be playing an alternate universe version of the character that apologists are pointing out does in fact exist in the comics. Yet another example of MCU fans saying F the source material until it's convenient for them to embrace it. We have people like Monkey Hernandi, who clearly did their homework on Wikipedia just so they can stick it to all the grifters who might have a problem with this casting. The one thing about this that these people don't seem to understand is that even though this character exists in the obscure lore of Marvel Comics, in the grand scheme of things, nobody really gives a shit about this version of the character.
It's true.
The Silver Surfer is a somewhat iconic character that has never appeared in the MCU. And when they finally have an opportunity to introduce him, instead they give us an alternate version of the character that is considerably less beloved and known. Can anyone really sit here and tell me that this makes a ton of sense either from a business or creative perspective? Your franchise is already in a free fall thanks to a lack of interest in the projects you are currently producing. And that lack of interest has mostly to do with you pushing characters to the forefront that do not deserve that spotlight. I'm talking about characters that do not move the needle when it comes to general audiences. And instead of learning from that, you double down on your questionable decisions and refuse to acknowledge what your fan base and audience might actually want to see.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
You get the impression with the MCU's Fantastic Four, which is intended to introduce this iconic team, which has been notoriously difficult for studios to adapt in the past, that this project is already not getting off to a great start, and we don't even really know a whole lot about it yet. There was a lukewarm reception to the initial casting announcement, and now you have this announcement, which has a lot of people scratching their head. What's weird to me is that you have the apologists who want everyone to believe that this somehow makes this character more interesting, basically exposing themselves as not being a real fan of the original incarnation, and they are more concerned with defending Marvel Studios with every ounce of breath in their body. It's not about adapting characters properly or effectively anymore. It's more about sending a message.
Message!
We already have people out in full force attacking those who dare not be on board with the most random casting decision we've seen in a long time. Like this person who says, now we're going to have to sit through incels pretending they're Silver Surfer stans for the foreseeable future. Ah yes, the deflection has already begun. Listen, I'm already on the record as saying I don't really have a personal connection with the Silver Surfer character. Yet somehow my common sense tells me that this isn't what a majority of fans had in mind when it comes to the Silver Surfer's first appearance in the MCU. But if calling people an incel is your way of coping with people speaking the truth, then go off, I guess. We have another person who says, quote, Julia Garner, to all the incels living in their parents' basements, complaining that she was cast as a female Silver Surfer, and with this post, this person also posted a clip of one of Ruth Langmore's famous profanity-laced tirades. Yes, queen! Incel has clearly become one of those words that has lost all meaning because of the frequency in which it is used to deflect valid criticism. The truth is that this is a casting decision that is worthy of criticism. It's not complaining. It's not a personal attack on the actress herself. A lot of us just don't understand why Marvel Studios consistently goes out of their way to try to make things harder on themselves than they need to be. The Silver Surfer as a character is a layup. The visuals associated with him alone would be enough to excite your average fan. Yet because of people like this who make excuses for everything, Marvel Studios is convinced that they have their hand on the pulse of what their fan base wants. If that were true, audiences would still be showing up in crowds to see your films. And the numbers tell us that just isn't happening anymore. I'm going to finish this off with a somewhat famous quote from a popular series. And this quote pretty much sums up Marvel's mentality when it comes to their understanding of what people actually want.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
No, not that one. This one, from the iconic Ruth Langmore herself.
I don't know shit about fuck.
Y'all be cool. Nah.